Singapore just dropped a big financial bomb on the government of Myanmar. Hello everyone, it's ASEAN Anthony, and in this video, Singapore is fed up with the government of Myanmar. Now when we look at the neighbors of Myanmar, China wants the sanctions to end, India wants the sanctions to end, Thailand wants the sanctions to end, and they have all said that as recently as early June of 2026, so very recent. But not Singapore. Let me give you some background information. Singapore has been used as an offshore financial haven for the current government of Myanmar. And this was true even before 2021. The current government of Myanmar was able to route their transactions through Singapore so they can receive US dollars to buy things like jet fuel and petroleum. And the reason why they did that is because you need US dollars to buy jet fuel and petroleum, and they were not able to do that because of the sanctions. So Singapore was a way for the government of Myanmar to get around the sanctions. But we're in 2026 now. Things have changed. The Singapore government has recently agreed to recognize a list by the Financial Action Task Force, FATF. This is an international agency that puts together a blacklist of countries that are bad or evil. Now, currently there are only two countries on this list, North Korea and Iran. Those are the only two countries. But now Myanmar is on this list. Myanmar was actually placed on this list in 2021, but Singapore did not recognize it. Now, this is what happens next. Any bank that is caught doing business with the government of Myanmar will be punished, will be put out of business altogether. But the government of Myanmar isn't doing enough business to warrant these banks in Singapore to break the law. So it is highly likely that they will stop doing business with Myanmar. So what does this all mean? Well, the first thing is obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult for the government of Myanmar to buy jet fuel, which means less airstrikes, okay, if you care about that type of thing. Also, this is going to have consequences for the average citizens of Myanmar. Now, after 2021, no one in Myanmar can open a bank in Singapore, although there were a few loopholes. But the more external consequences of this, there's going to be more negative externalities, one of which is that there is going to be a rise in the popularity of the trust-based bank called Hundi, okay? Now, if you live in Myanmar, you know what bank this is. It's actually already illegal, but people still kind of use it. Also, you have to remember that the Singapore blacklist is not intended to harm the civilians. So if the government can prove that they are going to be doing transactions that will just benefit the citizens of Myanmar, that is okay. It's just for things like petroleum and jet fuel. Now, this is a big new recent development, so there's not a lot of information known yet, and the consequences of this list have not truly been felt yet. So we don't really know how this is going to play out, but I will keep you updated.